So, happy Labor Day weekend. I got my stars on, supporting America and the United States. So today we are going to celebrate our Labor Day weekend by starting it off, we call it as a bang. We are going to the Cleveland Air Show. As you can see, I'm already ready. Had to get up pretty early. So we finally made it to, we got Terminal Tower ahead of us. We got Progressive Field with Terminal Tower behind it. We got the Huntington Bank, or excuse me, Key Bank. The iconic structural things. So we made it to Cleveland. Now we're headed down to where Burke Lakefront Airport is. That's where the Cleveland Air Show is, Cleveland, Ohio. It's going to be a long day, but there's a lot of activities to do. That's why we go into the air show. We used to sit on the 9th Street Pier, but they're making it harder to park down there, and they're also making it harder to sit down there, and access to restrooms are very hard to get to unless you go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So we just started going inside the air show, which is a lot better, I think. I'm going to give you a better view. Terminal Tower, Progressive Field where the Guardians play. So we're just headed down to where the air show is, and we gotta look for parking. The actual show starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but they allow you in the gates at 9 a.m. for parking and to go find your seats. You just bring lawn chairs. There's no seating chart. You just park your chair wherever you want to sit. We preferably like to sit up front because that way you can hear the announcers better, and you can see what's coming up next or what planes are taking off. So what I usually do, another tip I want to give you, is that I download the schedule before I get into the facility. Either that or before the show starts, I sit there and download it. That way you have an idea of what planes are going to go up. So if you do need to use the restroom or go grab a snack or go look at the planes. So there's a lot of activities to do while you're inside the facility other than just sitting there watching the planes, because there's breaks in between. They have different planes and activities you could do throughout this whole facility. I don't know if you want to really call it a fairground. It's more like an airport. So we finally, after sitting there for nearly an hour and a half, made it inside to park. And then we just have to go find our seats. So they've already scanned our tickets. We've already paid to park. So once we park, we pretty much just walk to our seats. Finally. I hope we didn't miss nothing. Technically, it said it started at 9:30, so from like 9:30 to noon, there's certain types of planes that go up, like the acrobatic planes, the parachute. So hopefully we didn't miss much. Traffic's just horrible, and we left like way early. So right now, they have the drone going. We're still walking to our seats. We missed I think one of the acrobat planes waiting in that long line of traffic. I really honestly don't even know what took so long to get in there. We sat for an hour and a half, but they got the drone going, and I'm going to look at the schedule to see what we missed. We did not miss any parachuters, so I'm going to turn my phone around here. This is the drone. There's the drone right there. So here's some of the displays. So they have the drone still going right now, and it's doing some fun stuff. So here's some more stuff that's up in the aisle. So we're going to be looking at all this once we find our seats. There's Cleveland in the background. You got the Key Bank building. You got Terminal Tower. You got the Cleveland Browns Stadium in the background. This is Burke Front Airport. It's right by Lake Erie. This is some of the box seating. So the drone's going right now. I think we only missed one thing, which is the acrobatic plane. They have some, the drone's got some kind of like blue gas coming off of it. There's so much to see and do, but our main goal at the moment is to just get to a place where we're going to be sitting all day. We like to be up front towards the gate, that way you can see the planes that are coming in, and also they have that Shockwave truck and I can get a better view of it, but right now there's a lot of box seating and we don't want to sit behind them, so we're just finding the open field.
And it will,
so the parachute plane just went up, and I thought I was recording, but it didn't look like my phone recorded it, so it already went up. So we got here to where we're going to park it for the afternoon just in time. We got a little bit of the drone show, but we missed the majority of it. Just the way it goes when it takes forever to get in. The helicopters are going. It does take a while for the parachute plane to get to the height that it needs in order for it to drop. It's already up there circling around. Let me see if I can get it with the sun. It's hard to pinpoint. It's going to focus.
Wind and timing and wind velocity on the ground and any other things that are pertinent to the team. He is a member of the team. He is a skydiver. But it is a rotational duty. Bring in the American flag. Will be Sergeant. The banners will blow away from the target, out a bit towards the water. Yeah, about a 1 o'clock to position. Winds change in terms of velocity.
So right above us is the big plane that's going to drop the parachuters down.
Directly over the top.
So I'm going to look at the schedule and see exactly what we missed. I know we missed the majority of the drone. And then there's one just getting ready to fly in front.
Quick radio, and he's going to go up there
and these are the acrobatic
some of the basic 2-point rolls and hammerheads and inverted passes. Then he's going to, on the left side, on the west end of the flight area, aircraft as well.
So these are called the Cleveland Air Modeling Society radio-controlled aircraft. Hopefully they bring the drones back out so we can see some more of the drones, but right now they're doing the radio-controlled airplanes.
This year we're having some youngsters fly for you in this show. And you see right over there the capability.
So while they're doing the radio-controlled airplanes, which you could pretty much see anywhere, so they're not doing anything too fancy, and we've seen them before. We're out walking around. Here are some of the aircrafts that you can see. Here's a helicopter. So we're at sort of the tail end of where they have all of the helicopters, so we're gonna have to walk back the other way. But as you can see, there's a lot of food vendors here. They got first aid. They got a lot of drinks. They even got iced coffee, espresso. I might have to check into that. They got a lot of different tents. Here's one of the helicopters. They got different like little things you can sign up for. You can go inside some of the aircrafts, but we're gonna have to walk back towards the other way in order to see the remainder of it. There's some more booths where you can get a lot of food. They have barbecue here, they have steak, they have tacos, they have smoothies. Here's another plane. So during the beginning of the shows when we like to walk around, because all the good stuff gets going in the afternoon. So we like to walk around in the beginning before it gets too crowded. So they got a smoothie. So here's some more displays up here. They got the United Airlines up here. They got another little aircraft over here. There's another little aircraft over there. Here's this little fun thing here. Let me see if I can get it from the front. We're coming on upon some more. So there's definitely lots to see and do. You can meet some of the aviation crew. They have like these ice, like frozen ice, like snow cones and stuff here. They have banana smoothies. They have even plenty of alcohol. Here's another cool plane right here. It's really nice looking here. So this is one of the perks about coming inside the air show, because you get to see all these different aircrafts here. And they have plenty of restrooms all over the place. They're kept usually fairly clean. I haven't really had too much bad experience. They do have some flushable bathrooms, but it just depends upon how much you want to hold it and how quickly you have to go, because those ones are a little bit of a distance off. So everywhere you go, there's vendors, ice cream, soft pretzels, you got nachos, you got sandwiches, you got like barbecue, you got Italian sausage. They got also like different things like leaf filter, like businesses that come here and advertise. You got Verizon. They got air show toys and souvenirs. There's a bunch of tents everywhere, so there is definitely a lot to see and do. I just want to make it back to my seat before the parachuters drop, because they put on a really, really nice, good show. Here's some more planes. The United aircraft is in the back over here. You can get into some of the planes. There's some back there. And then you can meet some of the aircraft crew. So we're coming upon some more airplanes that we can look at. Now most of these you can go inside. Some of them you just look. Now obviously this one is just a view only. They got t-shirts and polos, hoodies. They got caps of the Blue Angels. That's what's here this year. It's a little hot today. Here's some people aboarding the United Airlines. I've already been on the United Airlines, so I really don't need to go up in there. Then you got the U.S. Navy plane back there. So we're just gonna head over here. They got a bunch of snowballs everywhere. I used to eat those as a kid, but then I hated when you got all the syrup out and it just left you with plain ice. They got nice fresh lemonade. I have yet to find one that will make one the way that I'm able to drink it. I have to have Splenda in mine. I can't use regular sugar. There we go, the U.S. Navy plane. Here's some more bigger planes. So we're actually on the hunt to see where the Blue Angels are, and I think I spotted them over there, so I'm gonna go get a view of them. You got like some simulator rides you can do. They said you can do a drone simulator. They have a Viper demo. Some more smoothies. Here's some more planes. Here's the other side of United. It's a pretty nice plane. I think this is about the size we've been on, if not bigger. Of course, this is like a carrier plane. It's not it's an Aviate plane. It's not a passenger plane. Then you got the U.S. Air Force plane over there. Here's a small one right here. Here's some of the crew that flies these planes that you can meet. We're gonna do that throughout the day. I just wanted to go through here and scan to see where all the planes were. Now, after the parachute plane lands, they allow you to go into that and sit, and you can see all the parachutes. There's the Air Force plane, and here's the Blue Angels coming up. We're gonna get a good picture of that. We got a plane back there, which is the Navy. This one looks like it's a Canadian plane. This is a nice, yes, it's a Canadian plane. There's the Canadian flag. Real nice aircraft. There's the U.S. Air Force back there. And then Georgia's gal, she'll be going up a little later today. She gets on there and does some acrobats. So you go to these booths and you can get things like pens, and the thing that's unique about it is it has a ball on the end, so if you want to use it for your phone or your tablet. So there's the Air Force plane. So right now we're just looking at all the planes, because the parachute plane, I can still hear it. It's gonna get ready to drop the parachute, so we want to get back to our seat. Georgia's gal, she goes up and she actually does acrobats on top of her plane. And there's another U.S. Air Force plane in the back. There's Georgia's gal there. And this is the U.S. Air Force plane right here. Now we're gonna head over to the Blue Angels. There's the medevac back there. They do a show as well. Some more smaller planes. I don't know if they're 1-engine or 2-engine planes. And there's another U.S. Air Force plane back there. Okay, and then here we are, the Blue Angels. This is what I want to get a view of here. Some more of the bigger plane here as well. Another aerial view of where we've walked. We walked pretty far from our seats, but we're actually pretty close. And the parachuters are going to be dropping soon. But these are the amazing Blue Angels. Let's see, they have 2, 4, it looks like 6 going up today. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. They may have 7, I might have missed one. It's how they have it parked. Aren't they beautiful? These are the Blue Angels. And they are the highlight of the show. So you will see this towards the end of my vlog. And it will be a highlight to the show. It's the ending of the show. Great performance. We love the Blue Angels. Don't get me wrong, we love Thunderbirds. We just think that the Blue Angels are beautiful, and I think they slightly put on a little bit of a better show. I do hear the parachute plane. They're probably getting ready to drop here shortly, so we're gonna head back to our seats. So they're dropping the parachuters now as we're walking around. So as the parachutes drop, then they release a red gas. So I'm gonna try to point my phone up to it. Hopefully I can get it. They're dropping as we speak. And as it circles around, it'll continue to drop them. Let me see if I can try to get close up. It's hard to see where my phone is with the sun, but it's directly above me. And there's a plane circling around. So as the parachutes drop, they release like these red gases. It's really, really cool. So they leave this red gas trail as they're dropping. So you can see the plane circling around it. They continue to drop throughout the spurts of the day. I just see the one right now, but they'll start dropping more and more. So, okay, so this parachuter's got the flag. Let me see if I can show a view of the... So he's toting the flag, so that's why the plane's circling around, because they did the national anthem while we were walking around. And they're actually playing the song now, and he's toting the flag right now. Let's see if I can get a good view. It's hard to tell where my phone's aiming with the sun. There's that plane. And he's got the flag going. See if I can get a good view. Hopefully I'm not just getting the sky. parachuters are coming down right now. Got a couple in front of us. Here's some parachuters right now. Honey, can you hold my battery, please? Look at that. Look how close. That is so cool. They come down fast. One right in front of us. How cool is that? And he's also got a flag. There were several dropped. I think they're gonna probably keep dropping them. I think they drop so many at a time. He's getting ready to land right now. How cool is that? Okay, so they just finished dropping the parachuters, and right now they have the Acrobat plane going. I'm not sure if they're going to drop any more parachuters. Our experience in the past is they drop them a few times a day. They're usually like kind of like the opening act after they do the national anthem. So right now the Acrobat plane's going. Let me see if I can turn this around. We're going to get back to our seats. More of the Acrobat plane going up doing his tricks. There's some more of this Acrobat plane coming up in front of us here. There he goes. He's doing some spins.
For a new series of races in England. The new World Championship.
So this is not the radio control plane, just to reference, this is the actual Acrobat plane.
Air race. And that's it. Melissa's on the World Wide Web. Sarasota
There he comes again. I'm going to stop right here to get a good view of it. There he is. Done some more tricks. There he goes. Circling around now. Look at that trick. That's amazing.
Out to the main portion of the runway, you'll see them on the concrete because Melissa is not only going to talk to us, but she's also going to do something special. And she has a bit of a disappearing act. Everybody is like Gary and Melissa's no different.
And then we got the Acrobat plane going right over here.
The numbers Melissa is performing for you here are highly choreographed to fit 1, 2, and speed to complete the next maneuver.
There it goes.
All right, look back to your right on the runway. Crew members are in position. You'll see them supporting the poles. You'll see the poles are connected by ribbon.
So if you're wondering what type of aircraft this is Greg Kuntz Solo Acrobatics. There's a male and a female up there. So they were just radioing to her a few minutes ago. So she's been doing some low grade tricks on the runway. So it looks like she's coming back. And it's funny because her name is Melissa too, and so is mine.
Zoning in on that red target. And she nailed the target. Give her a big round of applause. And she does a little victory snap roll series, knowing it was a clean cut. Now with the top pole. Again, this is a balancing act. Looking for the bottom ribbon.
So her name's Melissa, and she's flying the Acrobat plane, which is so cool because my name's Melissa. So how cool is that? So she's been doing some tricks off the runway, and here she's coming back. Right now they're doing the Metro Life Flight helicopters. They're just doing a flyby. They're coming in down there, and they'll be coming in front of us shortly here.
That is providing the highest level of life-saving critical care to the residents of Northern
Looks like
Ohio,
one of them's Cleveland Clinic, Metro.
And beyond.
Here it comes in front of us.
They're operating out of 4 bases in Northeast Ohio. Metro Life Flight Team.
There it goes.
When needed. Here
comes another one. There they go. They're just doing a flyby right now, and here comes the third one. Okay, so LifeFlight just did a flyback. So between noon and 2, I'm going to give you a rundown of what's happening. So we have the, which is happening now a little bit earlier than expected, which is the Metro LifeFlight medical helicopter flyby. So that goes till noon. Now there's no specific times on these aircrafts because legally they can't give you specific times. And also weather plays a part in just anything. So they just give you a roundabout time. So we just experienced Metro Flight medical helicopter flyby. So the next set of things between noon and 2 p.m. This is Eastern Standard Time, we're in Ohio. We're gonna see the Hot Streak #2 jet truck. So that'll be coming up. We got the U.S. Air Force C-130 demonstration. U.S. Coast Guard Search and Rescue demo, U.S. Air Force F-15 flyby. So when they say flyby, it's because they're not parked here. So when they say flyby, it means they're coming in from another location and they're just flying by and then they go back out. Then you got Randy Ball MiG-17F. Then you got the Hot Streak jet truck too. So he goes a couple different times. Melissa Burns is the lady that did the acrobat plane. So she did that. She did that earlier. So she may come back out. So these are from noon to 2. So she's going to make an appearance again. So I know I didn't do a good job getting her because we were still getting into our seats. So the LifeFlight's getting ready to come back and do another flyby. So here they come.
With the region's best critical care.
They're getting ready to fly out in front. There they are. Number 1. Then you got number 2. Number 3. Okay, so while they're finishing up their show, I'm going to run down the list one more time. Sometimes it can be hard to hear because we have the announcer that also announces what's coming in. So once again, we're coming into noon. So between noon and 2, we once again got the Metro LifeFlight medical helicopter flyby, which means they're coming from the hospital, so they were not stationed here. Next up, it looks like it's going to be the Hot Streak #2 jet truck. It looks like he's going to be up next. Then you got the U.S. Air Force C-130 demonstration. And I'm looking at my list here of the schedule that I downloaded. And then right after that, once again, we have the U.S. Coast Guard coming up with the rescue demo. U.S. Air Force F-15 flyby. Once again, they're coming in from another location, so they're not actually stationed here. And then they're going to do that Hot Streak #2 jet truck for the second time, and this is all going to be between noon and 2. And then Melissa Burns, her name's Melissa Burns. She flies the plane. She's a sports gal. She'll be going up in her plane and doing more acrobats, and I'll get a better view of that. And then the last part of the day of the schedule will be between 2 and 4:30. So we'll get the U.S. Air Force F-16. Then we'll get the B-25 bomber. The U.S. Golden Knights parachute will be dropping again. And then lastly, the Blue Angels. So that's our day packed full of fun aircrafts. Now in between some of the shows, we take breaks to get drinks if we need any snacks, restroom breaks, things like that. But we glanced at most of the planes that were over there. They were starting to get crowded. so we couldn't, we didn't want to wait in line and miss anything to go in. But in between the show and when we take our breaks, then we go back over there and we go and look inside the planes. And then we go down the opposite way, which is the way that we originally came in, and catch the stuff we missed there. Stop at the little tents. You get these fun things like these stylus pens, you get magnets, pins. So here comes Life Flight again. So they did their final flyby, and then we're getting ready for the second part of the schedule.
Who is driving in honor with Hot Streak 2. He's going to come up here in his jet truck in just a moment. But flying right above us is Greg Kuntz. Greg Kuntz, this is a great airplane to learn how to fly aerobatics in. He's going to talk to us along the way as well.
So this is Greg Kuntz that's up in the air right now flying his plane. He's doing acrobats. This is Greg Kuntz, the acrobatic plane.
The truck probably going to have an easy start, but Greg thought he might have something up his sleeve, so we'll see what happens.
So the jet truck is on its way.
Shockwave. So that jet-powered truck has stacks that'll see flames 19, 20 feet in the air. The exhaust cone or the afterburner will come out at 40 feet. There's a lazy ride to see. He's going to show us all about that in just a moment. Shockwave was a Guinness World Record holder, 376 miles an hour. So when they hit position 376 tribute. So there's some burner pops.
I can't feel nothing. He's gonna turn around. Dang. Shockwave truck number 2. This is not the original Shockwave truck. If you watch my vlog from the beginning, you will hear the history on what happened to the original one.
Brought back to Cleveland National Air Show. And right now, Hayden's going to get himself turned around. He's going to go back down to show left. He's going to set up for the race.
So he's going to race the plane. He's going to race Greg.
Now, one of the things that we'll tell you about the last driver of Shockwave, his name was Chris Darnell. One of my best friends.
So right now, the Shockwave truck number 2, because this isn't the original one. Chris Darnell was the original one. Unfortunately, he passed away this past July due to a mechanical error in his Shockwave truck. He's getting ready to come back.
Very touched that Neil Darnell, Chris's father, asked him to come and represent the family this weekend. So now, it's almost race time.
And he's going to get ready to race the plane. And Greg is the one that's flying the plane, and he's going to get ready to race them.
So here comes Greg.
Here comes Greg.
He's going to chase down here to show left.
Greg's going to chase them.
There's a little bit of pride for fast loading and took a little bit to go amongst jet truck drivers and pilots. And so there was a little discussion about, well, no, if I start here, you start there. And David said, well, you know what? I'm going to drive a jet truck. I'm going to beat you anyway. So you start wherever you think you need to start. So we're going to hold Hayden to his word.
Hayden, who is driving the Shockwave truck, is getting ready to race Greg, who's doing the acrobatic plane. They're going to race each other, so he's going down to the end. He's turning around, and he's getting ready to come back. So they're getting ready to race right as we speak.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the race.
Here we come.
Let's see if Greg can beat Hot Streak 2. He's got the decathlon, just about all the juice he can squeeze out of the decathlon right there.
Here comes Greg in the acrobatic plane.
Give him a big lead.
Here comes the Shockwave truck. They're racing.
He's coming full burn.
Here he goes. Can he do it? Can he do it?
Way before the finish line.
That parachute come out.
Hot Streak 2, the winner of this morning's race.
Well, it looks like Hayden, the Shockwave truck, beat Greg, who's flying the plane. Amazing. So if you didn't see my earlier part of my video, the original Darnell, who drove the original Shockwave truck, passed away doing an air show with mechanical air at another show in Michigan just this past July. It was July 2nd, 2022. So the truck's no longer available, and may he rest in peace. This gentleman came to do the show today in honor of Darnell. So that's why we have Shockwave truck. It's called number 2. Let me give you the proper name for it. Okay, so the proper name of this Shockwave truck, it's called Hot Streak 2 Jet Truck. So the original Shockwave truck and the driver of the Shockwave truck is no more. The truck is destroyed, and they will not ever use that truck again, but this is known as the Hot Streak 2. They have a number 2 jet truck. Same thing, but different truck. And they put on the same type of amazing show. Greg is still up in the air doing his acrobats right now, while the jet truck is, the parachute comes out to cool it down and to slow him down. That's how they stop. If you want a little more information on that, just Google Shockwave truck or this jet truck that is here at the show today. And Greg's going to continue on with his. So they're a little out of sync from what the schedule says, so I'm going to try to stick to the schedule as best as possible with the type of planes that are coming out and the type of show. Thankfully, we have an announcer that assists with listing everything that's going on and who's coming, who's going. They give you a variety of what's coming in between times, but they have the time is off a little bit on some of the show, but it varies. Greg's coming in right now.
Things that kids like to do and give the parents a break. And it says here, if you're lost or separated from your group, go to the Kiddie Concourse. They also serve as the host for lost and found people throughout this entire weekend.
Greg right there.
Thank you to our friends at the American. The ability to get off in a short or unimproved runway is one of the great feats of this aircraft. Another reason why it is still in production.
C-130 just went up. Snacking on my protein bar.
21% decrease in fuel consumption.
There's 2 more planes coming right up there.
And a 15% increase in speed.
These are the flybys.
Many countries around the world, 50 to 60 to 70, I would say, depending on whose report you read, they're wearing out their C-130s, so they have to replace it with something. They're coming up to the age limit of the aircraft. So what they do, they say, generally, it takes a C-130 to replace a C-130. So as they're parked due to age requirements and fatigue on aircraft like this, they are selecting the brand new model of the C.
All right, we have an aircraft coming in now.
On the deck of an aircraft carrier. I finally got a chance to meet James Flatley. He retired from the Navy as an admiral. I talked to him in an air show down in Florida. I've been waiting all my life to meet you, and the feat you did with this big C-130. He said, I said, you have to clear something up for us. Throughout the course of the years, we heard that from the
One of the things about a C-130 is it's quiet as well in the air. It's a good neighbor airplane when you are assaulting an area either to land or to drop out supplies. Tactical surprise is very important.
C-130 now.
You want to be as quiet coming in as you can. You look at the tires below the aircraft. They are big balloon oversized tires. It helps spread the weight footprint of the aircraft on the ground when you're landing at unimproved strips. Landing in a jungle strip somewhere in the hinterland. Here's another feat that the aircraft did. It has the capacity to hold 92 passengers, 40,000 pounds of cargo. Now let's go back to the full feet. You're crazy. They want to see you waving. Oh, you can do better than that. The aircraft and other branches of the service. Some anti-skid braking system along, there it is, the tactical assault. Now that is a normal configuration. They get to a certain point and they do what's called breaking the sink rate, getting it down. From the time gear down, guess the amount of distance they use. Here comes the reverser. And if you can't turn around on the runway, and if there's no parallel taxiway, shift into reverse and back the aircraft up. Unload things that need to be unloaded, load up. Troops and equipment that need to be loaded, don't shut the engines down, and get out of there. These are your sons. These are your neighbors. These are the people that sacrifice for us day in and day out.
Airplane.
A C-130 from the Youngstown Air Reserve Station.
Right here is what we're looking at. You can see the flag. Pretty cool because he was standing out the cockpit with the window open waving with the flag in his hand, so it's pretty cool.
Men and women here down on
Sorry, I had to go the wrong way.
On the runway, being towed back by the support crew. Give that crew a big round of applause. I'm told they will be back later on today for more fun. But I think the F-15's coming in from your left.
F-15s are coming in from the left.
With a Hot Streak 2, 1957 Chevy. Applause. But they have things in store for the F-15.
Just flew by.
0.5 generation fighter.
Here comes the F-15. So right now they're circling around and they're getting ready to come in. I'm hoping that I'm getting it. Some of the times I can't tell if my phone's recording or not, or if I got the phone aimed right on them because there's such a glare. But they're circling around. They're getting ready to come back in before it gets loud again. These are the F-15s. They're doing a flyby. They are not destined here. They're flying in from another location. So they're getting ready to come up. I'm going to see if I can get it to focus on it. They're coming off there in the distance to the left.
Okay, back in formation now.
Formation.
Major Duster from Hudson,
Here they
Ohio.
come.
Major Hansel Scott from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Vietnam. Many other fighters flew in Vietnam, but the one that
Looks like they're coming in for a landing right now. They got their lights on and their landing gear.
Now, if you think they're going to land, think again. They didn't come all the way from New Orleans
I guess they're not going to land.
to
We'll get a
entertain their
good
hometown crew
view of
by
it.
landing.
Comes the other one. Here comes the other one getting ready to book. Wow, those things are pretty fast and loud. Love it. Great show so far. These are the type of planes that I like. They're quick. Honey, your phone. I'm gonna knock your phone down. Wow, you can smell the jet fuel on those planes. Okay, so the plane that just went by getting ready to go up in the air to do the show is a B-17 bomber.
Photo pass 550 miles an hour. Instructional videos.
Okay, my husband misunderstood the announcer. The plane that just took off that's in the air now is the MiG, let's see, that's the MiG-17F, and Randy Ball is flying it.
Degrees at the wing as he flies the full inverted pass.
So Randy Ball is flying the MiG-17F. So this is not the bomber. I think the announcer was just talking about the bomber being up next, but this once again is the MiG-17F, and it's flown by Randy Ball.
Pulling away from the crowd. Now this is a maneuver. They have a $20,000 signing bonus.
Wow, that MiG creeps up on you. It's very quiet when it comes up on you until it goes up into the air, then you can really hear it. So that's MiG-17F. That thing's quiet as a ghost when it flies by here until it gets ready to gear up to the like upwards towards the sky, then it gets a little louder. But when it does the flyby, I didn't even catch that one. Hopefully I got it on video. Okay, here he comes, guys.
There
It's
is
gonna
the
be fast.
Now you see the three fences on the top of the wing. See how the leading edge tip tracks forward and the two ventral singe. the slow speed.
Okay, so he's swinging it around again, so hopefully I can get him in sight.
Improvement over the MiG-17. And a lot of them said, nope, I'm familiar with this airplane. In a dogfight arena, I want the MiG-17. And they actually turned down the more modern MiG-20.
He goes. So the MiG F-15 is really, really like fast, and you have to almost try to like have your camera focused on it. Sometimes I miss because he's so fast, but this thing is really, really quiet until he turns the afterburners on. Then it gets loud, but this thing's amazing. This is like a sneak attack. So hopefully I can get it. I still have the sun glaring on my phone, so hopefully I'm able to get some good video of these planes. And I think he's coming back.
Speed the sound a little bit more and you start rattling the windows.
Cow? The secret cow?
And
so right now they're getting ready for another show. It's going to be a Metro Life Flight show. It's going to look like a search and rescue show. So right now they have the Life Flight helicopter and they're going to be doing a search and a rescue.
question has a crew
They're
of
going to
4
like
on
display
board.
how they do the
They're
search and the rescue.
A hoist operator mechanic and a swimmer. Now this crew coordinates their training and may have ideal conditions like this. The crew gets into some very hostile weather where the color of the sky and the color of the ocean or lake is the same future green. The pilots have
So they're doing a setup like somebody's out on the boat on Lake Erie and they need to do a rescue off the lake. That's what they're going to demonstrate. So this is just a demonstration on how they would rescue somebody if they were out on Lake Erie and they were swimming or boating and they were in distress. This is how they're going to demonstrate the rescue.
To take the individual needing to be rescued in the swim and hoist them back up into the helicopter.
In event that there's a distressed swimmer or a boater, this is how they're going to demonstrate how they would take upon rescuing them. So they're getting ready as if they were over the Lake Erie.
See the crew members at work on our
Which
side
we are
of the open
actually over
door.
the lake right now, but
There is the swimmer.
setting up to rescue the potential swimmer.
Now, hostile weather conditions might have been the cause for the boat being in distress. The helicopter is being buffeted
Being
around.
hoisted down to this potential swimmer. This is what they would
There's
do in the
turbulent
event
air.
of if this was really happening.
Rain is lashing against the windshield
FYI,
and
a
further reduced
demonstration.
visibility. The swimmer goes down, aids the victim. Very
Somebody's going
tenderly, I
down
might
to
add.
the potential victim.
It
Rescuing
is the
them.
flight mechanic at the door who gives guidance to the pilot in the front. You have no horizon. Back up 2 feet. Port side 3 feet. person into the basket made of wire so that it doesn't carry the water, and lift the disabled person up. Coast Guard Lieutenant Commander Nicole G. and Commander that is Andrew Clayton. This morning, coincidentally, I was going through.
So they hoisted the potential drowning victim up in there, and then they'll come back down and hitch the gentleman back up into the helicopter. Pretty cool. So new this year is the Viper. So I'm not sure if the Shockwave truck's coming back up or if the Viper will be first. I believe it's the Shockwave truck coming up again. I think the Viper might be coming up. Well, that would be the Viper. Can you hold this? Okay, so the Shockwave truck is probably after this. This is the Viper. This is new this year.
I'm always ready for a war again. Go down that road again. It's all the same.
Here it comes. It's fast, so I'm gonna try to get it.
Take a life again. You know I'm right. It's all the same. I fight you, I fight myself, I fight, just tell me how many.
So this is the F-16, also known aka the Viper.
Top speed of Mach 2.
It's fast, y'all. I think I got it, but it's F-16, aka the Viper.
Demonstrates exceptional roll maneuverability. Dropping in from the left, rebel, and a triple roll.
Here it comes.
Pressing her into the seat with a force of 9 times her normal weight, or 9 Gs.
Here she comes, real fast.
Now demonstrate the F-16's crisp handling characteristics as she performs a 4-point roll in show center, pausing briefly at each 90-degree increment. Notice the precision at which the individual movements are executed. In from the left, rebel, and the 4-point roll.
This thing is really a Viper for sure, man. How fast this thing goes. Here it comes again.
A trait which helps the Viper survive against low altitude threats. She will then quickly transition from horizontal flight into the vertical. Ladies and gentlemen, from your left.
Here comes the Viper, F-16. So the Viper can fly twice as fast the speed of the sound, but they also can go slow if need be too.
Demonstrating the F-16's awesome thrust to weight ratio and maneuver we proudly call the rocket launch.
Yeah. Whoa, hold on. Walk it like I talk it. 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 Walk it like I talk it.
The F-16 in the Knife Edge Pass.
Oh, that's London on the track. Run that shit back. We got London on the track. Swerving. How you do so perfect when you first dance?
Viper's exceptional power rolling ability, as she sent it from 300 feet to over 3 miles.
And his friends tasted the sweet perfume of the mountain and make friends. I'm lost through the years, and I'm not seeing. My friends had my first kiss on
So right now we have the B-25 taken off. That's the B-25 that just took off, the bomber. Okay, the announcer just mentioned the Warbirds.
Pressed into service as the C-47 of World War II fame, this is the model strictly for passengers known as the C-53.
So while we're sitting here waiting for the F-15 to come do a flyby, the U.S. Golden Knights are going back up and dropping the parachute, so it's getting ready to take off. Sometimes that takes a little bit of time for them to get to the altitude that they need to drop the parachute, so the F-15 will probably come in and fly by while that's getting its altitude.
Lieutenant's family. Lieutenant Anthony Allen,
Okay, here comes the
Youngstown, Ohio,
F-15.
all the way in.
So the Golden Knights just took off and started going up, so they're building their altitude to drop the parachute. So the F-15 did a drive-by. They just did one flyby.
Go back
so
to
the streamers just dropped off the parachute plane.
Projects.
So when they drop the streamers, it's to determine which way the wind is going, so that way the parachuters know which way to jump. So that's why the streamers come out. It's still gaining its altitude right now. And another plane's getting ready to go up.
It's a tremendous... Now, earlier I told you about Melissa Burns and all of her accomplishments. She watched that race between her air show buddy, Greg Coons, and the hot streak jet.
So the plane that just went up is Melissa Burns, and she's flying it, and she's going to be doing some acrobats. So this is the plane that we videotaped earlier. It was the green plane with the lady on it. So it's Melissa Burns, sports gal. So she's up there now flying her plane and getting ready to do some acrobats.
Tremendous.
And the Hot Streak Jet airplane. Saw her tumble in the air. Now she's enticing Hayden Prophet II in the Hot Streak 2
This is Melissa
twin-engine jet truck.
doing her acrobats, sports gal.
Formerly powering the Navy craft. When you equate the thrust to horsepower in the afterburner mode, Candy Apple Red is pretty much what I keep saying airplane, because it does fly down the runway. With the 57 Chevy, Candy Apple Red truck is all about. Hey Melissa, you're coming in loud and clear. What have you got in store for our buddy Hayden Prophet?
Okay, so that's Melissa, the sports gal up there. They're getting ready to do the Shockwave truck, and then they're gonna race.
Melissa continues to live. And there was an ex-Golden Knight who had retired from the team. His name was Ken High. He was the assistant team leader. He had a job of driving the truck for the family that owned it. I had the time, and he said, "You're riding shotgun with me." Well, I parallel that a hot pilot like Melissa Burns in a monoplane, the way Connie raced us in her monoplane. She's standing.
Okay, here comes the Shockwave truck getting ready, and then then Melissa, who's flying the acrobatic plane, will race the Shockwave truck just like the first time.
6 o'clock position. Oh, there's a little enticement. Come and race me is what she's saying. Hayden Prophet II is answering that challenge. Raw flames coming out the side of the stack. Well, you put back into your seat for the long. Here comes the end of the runway. And you go forward, it's going to be exciting. Then the seats come out. They have a couple of doors to slow the machine down. 260-foot diameter parachute. The brakes would never slow the machine down. We're going so fast they would burn out. Brakes don't come in, so you're down to about 100 or 80 miles an hour and heading off of the runway at a safe speed. And an air show. The answer was simple. It's because of you, great spectators. You're the ones that told us you like this. You're the ones that said don't have it. Trying to obstruct Melissa Burns. She's got to take some evasive action. She's going to lay down some smoke of her own. And she gets into its face, so to speak, filling up the windscreen. Total capacity of the Hot Streak 2 out on the runway, 150 gallons. And in this performance on ground and the race, they will consume about 120 gallons or a little more of that fuel. Talk about fuel consumption in your car or truck and the pain at the pump. Well, think about the mileage you get. There goes Melissa trying to hide on Hayden. Hayden won't be intimidated. He gets her a bit of smoke. Burns in the airplane will win this race? Do you think Hayden Profit II and the Hot Shoe 2 will win this race? You spectators have spoken. In seconds, this race will be history.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, here comes 25,000 horsepower. He's very gently.
There's a parachute.
Jump shoots come out.
Safe to say the Shockwave truck won.
People ask for my opinion. And by the way,
Okay, so it's announced at 3:25 the Blue Angels will be on site. So some parachuters are dropping right now.
The top of us as the jumper makes its way into the target area.
Look up this way, boy.
If things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start.
I think I got them on my view.
Just my children and my wife.
Hold that for a second, please.
Thank my lucky stars to be living here today. 'Cause the flag still stands for freedom,
Here's one
and they
parachuter.
can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Really cool.
There we go. Level, I like Humpty, so we're going to do another one. This one, so I can show off the top of my airplane to you. And my pretty paint job again. Here we go. I'll push out of this one. Take the fall this way. Crank back. And out of that. Here's a half cubic for turnaround, Danny, and then into a Cupid 8. Explain what a Cupid 8 is. Yeah, well, I'll tell the folks. That a pilot by the name of Len Polby was doing in Miami. He was doing a loop. He was so low to the ground he thought he would crash. So instead of completing the loop, he did what Greg was doing, 5-degree down line. That felt so good he did another one. When he got on the ground, the chief judge, who was Jimmy Doolittle, said, "Polby, what in the world is that? Never seen anything like it." Len Polby at that time was the chief flight instructor of aerobatics for Batista's Cuban Air Force. That was I got a crew down on the ground setting up something for me. Runway once again. You'll see crew members out there. Some have safety vests. You'll see some poles that are colored brightly. See, the poles are connected by string and...
So right now, it's Greg back out here doing his aerobatics with his aerobatic plane. That's who's flying right now.
Looks like they're waiting for me on that one. That looked good. Okay, so if I didn't go back and...
So this is Greg Kuntz back again doing aerobatics. And then next is the Blue Angels at 3:20 Eastern Standard Time.
And smoke. See him doing a little adjustment with the wings and the rudder. He's got the altitude and the ailerons, and he is going to nail that thing. It's not going to survive a second. Well, I wasn't heard of it that time, I knew it.
So Greg Kuntz took his plane and flew it upside down and cut the ribbon that they have out on the runway. And he did it while he was flying upside down.
Women and equipment that keep our aircraft flying. From Guadalajara, Puerto Rico, our assistant maintenance officer is Lieutenant Henry Cedeno. From Virginia Beach, Virginia, the Blue Angel Flight Surgeon is Lieutenant Commander Monica Borza. From Scottsdale, Arizona, our supply officer is Lieutenant Paul Kruger. From Rochester Hills, Michigan, our public affairs officer is Lieutenant Kelsey Smith. Our lowest technical representatives are Mr. Jack Brown from Fort Worth, Texas, Mr. Todd Lawson from Tigard, Oregon, and Mr. Lanny Harnischmeger from Nantucket, Massachusetts. Our financial management analyst is Ms. Deborah Johnson from Pensacola, Florida, and our administrative officer is Mr. Arias Wilkins from Columbia, South Carolina.
The highlight of the show. They are fast and they are loud.
They're on the runway now. Kesselring calls, smoke on, off brakes now, burners ready now, and the Blue Angel Diamond is rolling. As they pass comes on as Captain Kesselring calls for the deselection of Afterburner. Pulling through the horizon, he rolls the formation 180 degrees to the upright position, completing the half-cubic 8. As the Diamond accelerates in the descent, they will pass before you and exit the flight line to the left. As they perform the opposing knife edge pass. Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank
you. Rolling maneuver. Demonstrate the inverted flight capability of the F-18. Approaching inverted from the left and right, they will roll their aircraft 360 degrees, crossing over center point. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposing inverted to inverted roll. Here's Captain Kesselring. To the right, Lieutenant Commander Rickoff and Lieutenant Commander Brad will establish a mirror image formation. However, look closely as both aircraft are in the carrier landing configuration as they approach for a maneuver we call the Fortus.
Stimulation to the female gender. Ain't nothing better than this one of them to enter.
By no other jet demonstration team in the world today. From the left, the Diamond Dirty Loop. Demonstrate the maximum performance turn radius of the F-18. He'll execute a 7.5G afterburning turn and exit the flight line vertically, showcasing the Super Hornets turbo nose. Separation, observe as both pilots sustain 6 times the force of gravity to cross their aircraft over show center. 6 have your attention, you have seen firsthand the ability of... Hesitation roll.
Yeah, upside down.
Exit the flight lane in a second dimension. 420 degrees in section. Ladies and gentlemen, the double tuck over roll. The thunder of 8 engines producing 168,000 pounds of thrust. To the right, Lieutenant Commander Rickoff and Lieutenant Commander Brett are approaching to demonstrate the slow speed handling characteristics of the Super Hornet in the clean configuration. They'll pass before you, virtually standing Blue Angels 5 and 6 on their tails. At less than 120 miles per hour, the fly-by-wire flight controls provide the slow speed handling that sets the Super Hornet apart in the air-to-air combat arena. Ladies and gentlemen, the Section High Alpha Pass. demonstration pilots of the 120 training flights necessary prior to our first public demonstration. Our show season opened on the 12th of March and runs through early November. The Blue Angels will perform 65 flight demonstrations this season while visiting 32 cities throughout the United States. Pass over center point.
Just trying to break even. Sometimes your heart's pounding out of your chest. Sometimes it's just beating. Some days you just move, but all you didn't give up. Some days you just get by. Yeah, some days you're just alive. Some days you're living like you never die. Blue's a little bluer up in the sky. Your high's a little high. You feel that fire you've been missing. Some days you're living.
At 400 miles per hour, all 6 aircraft are approaching for the maneuvering Delta. As they pass over center point, you should get a good look at the Delta set used by the 5 wingmen. you've been watching perform here this afternoon are but a small part of the Blue Angel team. Through hard work, many long hours, and unselfish dedication, they have each year for the past 76 years providing us with the aircraft availability necessary to perform each of these aerial demonstrations. As the aircraft taxi back, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the Blue Angel maintenance crew. Command Master Chief Eric McDermott from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
So that was an amazing show. I think I got some good views. We're heading back to the car now. We tried to scurry out of here as quickly as possible. Last year we had a horrible time getting out of here. It took us about 2 hours, almost 3 hours to exit out of here. We're in a little bit of a better parking where I think we can get out easier, and we're a little bit more closer to where we are now. So hopefully we can get out of here more quickly than we did last year. But what an amazing day. We had a beautiful sunny day, no cloud in the sky. It was warm out, but it wasn't extremely overwhelming. The weather was perfect. We had some breeze coming off of Lake Erie, which helped it. But what a great show. We love coming every year. We love the fact that it's over Labor Day weekend. That way we get to enjoy it. Fun-packed weekend full of fun stuff to do, including going to the Cleveland Air Show, which we made a tradition to do every year. So we looked at all the planes and got some great views. Amazing show. We love the Blue Angels. They always do a good performance and everything went well.